Hello and welcome back. How's everyone doing? Who is ready to get some planning done? If you haven't already, grab the template from the description and get yourself a hard copy of that or use the PDF in something like GoodNotes. Works either way. Yeah, let's see what we can plan for the week of May 20th to 26th. How are you doing, Rita? How's it going? Jess is coming in to hit the like button. Today's a mental health day. I'll plan on the replay later. Perfectly fine, huh? Not a problem. Do what your body needs, right? Always what we teach. So how's everyone's week been going? Have you been productive? Anything been getting in your way? I have a week ahead that is going to be a bit chaotic. Some things are based on weather, so I think that's going to open up a little bit of time for us. Not much, but a little, which will be good. Disappointing for one, but good for me, because then I can get more writing done instead of running around. Let's see. What have you guys been doing this week? I have been writing. Today is the first day I think I found myself a bit stumped. No, not stumped. That's not the word I'm looking for. Struggled a bit because I think in my mind I had a very surface level adventure kind of feel. And then I realized that there's a lot of things that she's kind of deciding inside of that, that we're a bit deeper, and this is kind of like her final moment of proving it to herself. So it came on. I was so ready to just write this action scene and feel like really didn't even realize how much depth I was needing to put into it, and that's probably because the previous writing days, some deeper things occurred on the page that I hadn't necessarily thought of before. So I kind of messed myself up, but at the same time, I know it'll be better for it. I just got to struggle through this, and I'll get to the other side, and it will be good. Jess, I'm leaving you on the screen for the view, though. See you guys next weekend, or some of you in other sprints this week. Definitely. Next weekend, guys, we're going to do all the things. We're going to do 2 writing sprints on Saturday and Sunday, and then we're going to do our monthly and weekly planning as well. So, question is, did I define who's going to be who? I did not. We'll probably do the monthly planning on Saturday and then do our Sunday planning. But I think that'll feel better. Let's see, Rita, brain. I finished this quarter for the HB90 tasks, etc. I don't use the Kanban board, but charts and lists in my notebook, and I'm back to the accounting for hubby. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I have the Kanban board right in front of me, but currently where it is, I have to reach over my desk to use it, which is not fun. I am getting a new surge protector so I can move this room around finally. Who would have thought it would be that hard to get a surge protector with a long cord that actually has more than 6 outlets on it? I didn't know I was seeking a unicorn. But I do have one coming. I'll hopefully have it tomorrow, fingers crossed, and then I can move things around the way I want, and then the Kanban board will be more accessible because I'll be able to get up and close to it again. There's so much stuff on my desk in terms of tech to make all this happen that it's really not comfortable to reach over it. It's just part of my problem, I think. If it was just a regular desk setup, I'd be fine, but I have things that I don't want to accidentally damage. So it makes me nervous to go there. All right, guys, we are going to dive on in. So does everybody have your template? Are you ready to plan an amazing week? I know mine is going to be busy, but I know with the plan that I can tackle it all. and still manage to have all that self-care time and hit all my health markers that I want to hit. So I just have to know what's coming at me. That's all. Okay, guys. So our template is page 1, which is just very much think of this as your ordinary world. This is all the things that we do because we kind of have to, because we've committed to it. And some of it brings us joy. Some of it brings us frustration. And a lot of it is just things that we check off at the end of the day and say, I got that done, and everybody ate, or the laundry happened and everybody's got clothes, or or whatever it may be. But it's kind of, they tend to be attached to someone else that we care for and care about. Where page 2 is very much about ourselves and the things that we are trying to do to create that version 2.0 of ourselves. Cami, hello. I had no productivity plans besides setting up my next spreads and baking bread, homemade bread. But my landlord was down here fixing the sump, so I had to pretend I was doing something. I got one more character of my who knows who huge spreadsheet completed. Oh, I love that. That is interesting. And I love that you've connected it to each other. That's gorgeous. Kat, hello. Welcome, hun. It's been ages. How long has it been? I don't know, half hour? Okay. Page 2 is all about the things you are trying to create and bring into this world, bring into being. Cami, row 53 of 329 is up next. Whew, interesting. All right, guys. First off, we're going to start with stage 1, our backstory, which is the definition of a set of events that have occurred before the main story. So these are all the things that sort of happened last week that we just want to kind of take a moment to acknowledge. Some things were good, some things were bad. What can we learn from that? About our process, about our where we were at in terms of our mood and our state of mind, and just take a little reflection. So, first off, we're going to reflect and celebrate our successes and gold star moments, and then we're going to analyze and the challenges that occurred last week. Our biggest distractions, they happen, they will always happen, and our best fixes for them. As well, we're going to look at what we've been avoiding, why, figure out if it still matters. We're going to break it down. We're going to take that first teeny tiny action step toward it, and we're going to make it priority number 1 and get it off our list. If we can do it this evening, we're going to do that. If it needs to be a business day, we're going to get it done tomorrow morning, Monday morning, and check that off. Let's see. Kat, I wrote 639, and Sarah's second sprint. Nice. Let's see. Cami, distractions has always been on. But she's sweetness. You love her. It's all good. Okay, guys, let's get our 2-minute timer up, and let's give our gold star, gold stars. Can't speak today. Our best fixes, because we want to note those for the future, and what we've been avoiding, and what that first teeny tiny step is that we're going to take to make that go away. And go. What did you guys come up with? I got my final assignment in for the advanced class, which was awesome. She ended up our instructor broke her hand, so she ended up giving us a couple extra weeks, which I am so grateful for because it was harder to come up with certain aspects of that editorial letter than I thought it was going to be. But because we had the extra time, I was able to work through and really figure a lot of things out that if I'd had to do the original deadline, I don't think I would have had in place. I would have, I think I would have struggled more to make it the nice positive sandwich that it should be. Let's see. And I avoided that so badly because I didn't feel like what I had was good enough. And then upon reflection, I realized that it was, and I did have enough that I could say about it. But I let myself get into my head, and that slowed me down. So I need to remind myself that I know what I'm doing and believe that I can do it. I let myself let doubts get in there, and I shouldn't have done that. It's easy enough to do, guys. It's easy enough to do. And I need to choose my next class. And the one I was leaning toward is self-paced, and I have to decide if I'm okay with that because I truly, truly have much enjoyed doing the more traditional where we get feedback. So even though the topic of the self-paced one is the one I really want, I kind of want the feedback. So I'm going to see what I can do, what I can come up with. I can always put this one to the side for now and come back to it and do one different one first. Cami, for those reading this, Panda says, I take a sip of your water. She's calling her spelling me. Rita Beth spent 14 over 4 days with the accounting and finished up with this quarter of HB90, avoiding major house clean. Company is coming next month. Sweet. 14 hours. That was to be spent 14 hours over 4 days. Okay, I hear you. Okay. I think that's supposed to be something behind there. That's okay. 14 hours over 4 days. But you're kind of getting back into it. It's going to be a little slower, I think, because you'll have to kind of work your way back up. So I think that's okay. That's not too bad. It's probably more than you wanted, but at the same time, it's now done and you're set up again, right? So it's all good. It's all good. We take it as a win. All right, guys. Stage 2 is distractions. Things that prevent someone from giving full attention to something else. There's kind of two kinds of distractions. There's the ones that we accept and that we know are coming at us. And those are the ones that we can schedule very easily in here. But then there's the other kind that just pop up. And those ones are harder to handle. That's when we need to start looking at our processes and systems and making sure that we have a way to get back into the mindset where we were before we were distracted. Let's see. So that is the majority of page 1, broken down with many different aspects here to allow us to really take a good look at what's coming. Plus, we're heading into summer, guys. So there's definitely the major conflicts may come more into play now. Let's see, Rita. I took Friday and the weekend off. Sweet. Okay, guys. So this one we don't usually put a timer on for. We'll just kind of talk about it. If you have something, just jot it down. Major conflicts, breaks in routine. Can be vacations, major holidays, surgeries, conferences, etc. And you really just need to figure out whether you need to relax, participate, enjoy, or recover. What is the goal here? And basically leading up to it, how can you get ahead of this? So we'll use the example of a vacation. You don't necessarily want to take work with you on a vacation, but maybe you have a deadline coming up for a book. So you don't want to find yourself coming back from that vacation and realize that now you only have 2 weeks to get those final edits in to your proofreader. and you needed the month, but you had 2 weeks of vacation before that. So you can start seeing ahead that maybe what you were looking at on the other side of it, to make sure that you're not leaving any kind of gap where you're going to end up putting yourself in a more stressful place. We don't want stress. We try not to. Cami to Rita, I've had clean under the kitchen sink on my to-do list for a year, and yesterday the sump jammed to get water from my basement suite sink to the drain, so I had the opportunity thrust upon me. I love it. Yes. That happens, Cami. Yes. Awesome conflict baby to be born this coming week. Congrats. But we won't be visiting until either Saturday or Sunday. Yep, it would have gone another year probably if I could choose not to organize and clean it. So true, so true. Okay, guys, so if you have something on there, please write it down, and that way there's an area there that you can kind of start thinking about and formulating ways that you can get ahead of that. And everyone's going to have a different scenario, of course. For me, I'm opening up sometimes, so I'm going to have to make an announcement this week to one of my communities here that I am stepping back, because I'm finding that I'm having to give up some things to make sure that I'm having enough room to really take this next step of my journey, and I need a little bit more. So I'm having to make some changes. It's all that simple. All right, guys, important dates for the next 2 weeks, because we always want to know what's coming at us. So for me, I like to use my Google Calendar, which I'm hoping everything is up to date in there. It should be. And note down holidays, events, birthdays, appointments, and any commitments that you have. There's a space there for reminders, so you can note time travel time. You know where my brain has been. There was basically a portal story that we used for our editing assignment. My brain's still in there. Travel time, action steps, prep, confirmation if needed, and paperwork. I do need to make sure I have one that I do, which is for the puppers, and I need to book his appointment instead of just talking about it. Every time we talk about it, I don't have my phone handy, or I'm in the middle of doing something else, and it hasn't happened, so I gotta make sure that one gets done. Okay, guys, so bring up your calendar, regardless whatever you like for your monthly calendar, and let's note down what's coming at us and go. Okay. Do I have everything? Oh, we have a double down day coming up, don't we? And that's going to be the first. So, and I have to figure out how that's going to work because I have a birthday child the day before. So, don't think there should be an overlap, but I gotta find out. And I can see it coming, so I'm gonna make changes to that. I'm gonna add a couple more in here. We also have a stat tomorrow, so we'll have to see how that works out. Where am I here? 27th, okay. 27. This one is that one, and that is 29 and 30. I'm not looking forward to the next 2 weeks. It's going to be chaos. My youngest is doing an anthropology class, though, and she's loving it, and I'm a little jealous. See, what did you guys come up with? Cami, at least you've realized that you need the opportunity to live, not just exist. It can be easy to overlook. Yeah, it seems like on the surface it doesn't take a lot of time, but then I realized as I started thinking about it that I spent a lot of mental time thinking about it, and it just, I don't think it's good for my energy, and it's interfering with my overall goals. So I just need to take a step back, and that is fine. Rita, nothing for important dates. Well, besides grandbaby and the kids to be watched. Yes. I'm so happy for you. Are you going to share pics with us when little one comes? I would love that if you would. Let's see. Okay, guys, life test. This is down to all those details. There are spots all over the place for this. So you can just note things down very quickly and easily, and you don't have to try to put headers in place because they're provided for you. So you have your chores, your errands, your sleep equation, which is simply what time you need to be in bed by to get a certain number of hours of sleep. Sort of working backwards, thinking in terms of, okay, if I want to get up at 8 a.m., but I also want to have 8 hours of sleep, but I also want to do a little bit of reading before I go to bed. I also don't want to get up jarringly at 8 o'clock. I want to be able to maybe wake up slowly between 7:30 and 8, kind of do all that equation in there. And then you can actually really just have a really relaxed waking and also a relaxed falling asleep, right? So we want to consider like what that bedtime schedule is going to kind of look like and what you want to include and what you don't want to include. That's important too. Let's see, Rita, I'll be sharing on the Hardy's group and my one Facebook page. Sweet, I can't wait. There's an area there for your groceries, meal planning, and cooking overview, so you can determine what days of the week you're going to be responsible for which meals, and you can just check off on the boxes. And then you can add in a P or a G for the meal planning or your grocery shopping as to where you want them to go in. I've been recently back to just jumping into the store for random little things, and I need to stop because I can already feel what that does to me. I don't like it. Your morning and evening routines, anything you want to include or again take out, your banking and bill due dates, and other can be if there's insurance due, what you want to do with family time, and the day job. If there's something in a change, if you have a regular schedule, that's awesome, but maybe you have a variable schedule, so you can note that down as well. I just gave another area for that, so you can kind of just put what you need. And as always, we'll batch together related tasks to make life easier. Okay, guys, so let's get that 2-minute timer going, and let's list off all the things that we can think of, and begin. Where is my? There she is. this week. Okay, what did you guys come up with? So I need to schedule this one. The way things are lining up next week, I think we'll have a lot more days eating at home. So I'm going to maybe have to adjust my cooking schedule as well here. Give myself a bit more time because lately we've been eating out a lot, which is also not great for my energy, but it's what we do to pass the time when we drop off our eldest at her Special Olympics stuff. It's something to do. Not close enough to home to just go back and shopping. Well, there's only so much shopping one can do. So we end up just sitting and having a bite, and that's okay. Little nibble somewhere. But then we tend not to cook at home then, which is, this will be a slight adjustment this week. Let's see. What did you guys come up with? There's one other thing I want to do under tours this week. Just going to fit in. The doorway is about halfway done the way I want it. I need to get a few more things out of the way that are cluttering things up. I just don't want them there. It probably wouldn't take me more than 5 minutes, but I don't want to think about them anymore. I just want it to be free. Okay, guys. So we're going to move on to stage 3, the ticking clock. A time limit or deadline that adds constraint, obstacles, or ensures the protagonist must act. So literally what we're going to hear is give a designation of time to how long we think each thing takes us that we need for it. So if you're doing a true 8-hour sleep each night, you're looking at like 56 hours for sleeping, right? If you're doing more, calculate. If you're doing less, I would not recommend less than 7. It tends to burn you out a bit and leave you feeling not quite so good. Hey, Jordan. We're in the planning session, hon. Rita, just normal stuff for me. I want to major clean that kitchen, like the shelves and fridge. Sweet. Cami, I'm actually jumping between grocery online orders to see if the sale at one is worth 2 deliveries. Oh, interesting. Cicania? I probably just destroyed that. Hopefully not. I just joined. I am planning the last week of my son being homeschooled. He is going to public school. I am happy to join you and plan this upcoming week. Oh, very cool. Make sure you grab the template from the description so that way you can you follow along, or you can also just do it in a notebook. Either way will work. It's just a little more writing on your end. Welcome to this wonderful way to plan your week. Thank you, Rita. Okay, guys, so let's dive on in. So, knowledge of time. What isn't on the list? You may have noticed that there is no place on the list for self-care or health exercise. That's because I believe time for both should be protected. Thus belongs on page 2. I believe this because I find that these are areas that usually we will let others encroach on. So if we really want to be healthy and happy, we need to realize that we need to actually take better care of ourselves, and that takes time. And it should be protected time, and it needs to happen. So that's why that's this way. Let's see, I'm 30 minutes away from the grocery store. I have to make sure I get all I want once a month, unless there's a really good sale. Delivery fees are decent, luckily. Oh yeah, for sure. What journal are you writing from today? And journal. We actually use a template in this one that I designed, so I don't actually use a journal on this. So you have 168 hours this week. Most of them are already spoken for. You will 168 hours less. You will notice that I put the equation of 49 for sleep. That's because most of us try to manage to live off of 7 hours of sleep. It's not a good idea. We try not to do it. but just so you know. 45 for the day job. That is an 8-hour full-time job with a half-hour travel time there and back. 21 hours for meals and cooking. Cooking always takes longer than the eating, but try to think about how you do what you're doing and what your schedule looks like for that and how much time you're giving to each. Also, I recommend also, really enjoying your meal and sitting in, trying not to multitask. Again, sometimes we have to, but we try not to. Try to enjoy your meal. Enjoy the company you're keeping while you're eating. I put 14 down for family time. Again, adjust accordingly. 2 for errands, 3 for chores, and 3.5 hours each for morning and evening routines. That's only a half hour each for each one, but for some that'll be enough. Again, some will need more. Adjust. So out of all that calculation, that leaves 27 hours for your goals. Which is a good amount if we focus in and protect that time. So let's find out what that time looks like for you. So let's take a quick 2 minutes and fill in the times to the best of our ability. This is your best guess, guys. Remember, life is subject to change. Okay, and go, guys. Let's see. Back to the grammar. Oh, let me do that one. What did I do wrong there? Okay, what'd you guys come up with? Um, um, okay. You're welcome, man. Rita, I have 27 hours. This could be more if I don't have the kids on the scheduled days. Plus, I added 12 hours, probably too much for a baby visit, 4 hours in the truck. Oh, I see. But it's a start. It's a start. It will depend. It will completely depend on the demeanor of the little one, the stress of the parents. They may be happy to have you because they may be sleep deprived at that point. And be happy for your help, and hope that you can basically help out for a little bit. But yeah, I like the idea that you have it down there because it leaves that ability if they need you for that, right? All right, guys. So how did you come up with time? I ended up with about 57 this week. So And part of that is because we have one thing that is not two things that are not happening this week, replaced with one thing that takes less time. So that's good. Okay, guys, let's dive on into our next panel. Now, this one is the storyboard. This is the frame over which you drape your plot. Now, this is just simply, it sounds more complicated than it is. It simply is taking a look at that overview for your week and seeing where time is going to kind of fall. So we have our choices of full days, which means you have all the time in the world. It's all yours. Nobody else has any demands on it. Every minute of it, you can do whatever you like. Half days tend to be work days, and then the remainder is yours to do with as you wish. Pinch days are those super crazy busy days where everything seems to just fine that day. You guys know those type. And it ends up being that you're saying yes because the thing has to happen, but at the same time, you're crying a little bit on the inside. We've all done this. Your life task days are those when you're leaving the house to run errands, and I highly recommend that you start furthest out and come back towards your home. That way you're not finding yourself going back and forth. And then days off are true days off where you're just going to do all the fun things and just going to relax. I don't know you that well, but whatever you can get done is a benefit to, yes, exactly. Okay, guys, so we're just going to take that overlook at the week, that view of the week, and see which days kind of fall where, so that we can help us with scheduling the things that we need to do. And go. Ooh, that's gonna be a pinch. It's going to be a challenge day. A couple and a half, not entirely sure. So how'd you guys do? I just realized that I guess this is going to turn into also being my get things done day. Wednesday is turned into a pinch day. It's not going to be fun. Husband and I are going to have to do some divide and conquer. And I also need to preferably slide in some of the life task stuff as well in there if I can. At least as I said, I try not to break up my days with running little errands here and there. I don't like it. I don't like that it eats up so much time. And if I can be more planned about it, and even though it's going to have a very pinched feeling to it, just combine it in there and just have all the chaos and just embrace it. That's what I would prefer. mostly, and I have a handful of full days surrounding that. So I should be able to make up for anything that ends up sort of needing to catch up on. What did you guys come up with? Our next stage here is stage 5, protected time. This is where we're going to flip over and we're going to start using the second page of our template. And you'll see that there's percentages here. I was asked last time what we use the boxes for. They're there usually just as a visual cue. I find that sure I could write in the first few, but I find when I get into the little boxes, they're too small. So they're literally there just as a visual cue to give you the, to remind you of the importance and weight that you're giving to your big goal versus your meeting goals versus your small goals. So definition of protected time is time kept safe or defended against interruptions so you can achieve what matters to you. And that's what this page is all about. Now, as you guys know from previous ones, I highly, highly recommend that you make your big goal your health goal, because when you feel good, everything else can happen. When you don't feel good, it gets very hard to do anything, right? So I highly recommend that you make your health goal the big one, and that includes your journaling, your planning, your physical exercise, your meal choices, just all the things that are going to make you happy and healthy, right? So let's see. Elizabeth, hello, hun. I'm taking a chemistry class at a community college that starts on Tuesday of next week. That is so cool. Well, congrats. That's awesome, hun. Those boxes I ended up putting in the task blocks to be used for that goal. Ooh, nice touch there. I like that, hun. Very smart. And that would fit in there really beautifully. So good one. Yeah, if you can think of something small that will fit in there, definitely do it. Okay, guys, as I was saying, I look at health in 3 parts. You have your physical, which is your movement and exercise, which I like to combine movement with new skills. So watching videos on YouTube for information, listening to podcasts, and getting my movement in at the same time with that. Exercise is when we kind of hit the gym and do the more, exercise. Diet choices where we want to consider, what we're putting into our body, and also processing what we think, how we feel after we eat something. Because sometimes some things taste so good, but when we eat them, our bodies tell us we should not have, right? Cami, if you personal, not just Tracy, color in the boxes, it's another visual sign of importance. Like red needs immediate attention, green can be done last. Oh, I like that. That's true too. Elizabeth, I have an MRI on Wednesday morning. Oh, yeah, my daughter just had one of those. But they're a little bit stressful, but at the same time, very doable. Rita, Cami, I love the idea of the colors. Me too. Yeah, I like the color coding idea there. You have your mental, which is like meditation, your planning, so your daily, weekly, your monthly, quarterly, your business and goal setting, budgeting, and also self-care scheduled. If you don't put it in your schedule, it's less likely to happen. You have self-discovery, so your journaling, your morning pages, your process evaluation, and personal goals, which I like to try to put on a 6-week rotation. That way it's long enough that I can see progress, but also short enough that I can check in and see what is and isn't working and tweak. So that's sort of the view that's why I say that health should be your first one, because all of this stuff takes time and you need to be able to give yourself the time to get that done. Previously, I was trying to cram it in, and shockingly, it didn't happen because I was not allocating nearly enough time for it. All right, guys, so our boxes. I'm trying to get better colors on here, but this software is not playing nice. I'm going to see if I can make some custom colors and get something more pleasant. So the first rule for protected time is that we don't give 100%. We give 95%, and we save that 5% for our self-care. So your big goal is going to be preferably your health. So that 40% of the time should go to your health. So you have time to all the things you need to take care of you and your body and your mind, and to actually future-proof yourself as well. You have time for that. And then you have that final 5% that's not listed. It's your self-care. So you're taking care of yourself, which leaves the 2 20% and the 3 5% to figure out what you need to do, right? To get all the things done that are important to us. So what does that look like in hours? We have the 27 hours in our example, broken down into 40% was 11 hours. It was rounded up. 20% is 5 hours each, rounded down. Everything else is rounded down. And the 5% is 1 hour each. Now those small goals, 1 hour is probably going to be enough for them because you're just focusing on that one small thing, right? That small slice of the pie for the week. We're going to use the math of protected time times percentage, which is going to equal your focus time. And that final 5% is your fun list. That is your self-care. And that's going to be 5% plus whatever the remainder is, right? So let's take 2 minutes and let's do some quick math and see where we're at. Elizabeth, I also have a phone interview for a part-time job tomorrow. Very cool. Okay, guys, let's do some math and dive on in and go. Okay, so what do I have here this week? So what did you guys come up with? I have 23 hours this week to put toward my health goal, which is good because we also have our monthly planning this month. So I like that there's that little extra time in there. Overall, now the question I have for myself is I currently have enough time written down there for my writing. But the editing is a little bit on the lighter side right now. I'm wondering if I should borrow from it because right now it's on the light side and give a little bit more to writing since I'm in between anyway. I'm gonna give myself a few days to make a choice on the next class. So I'll maybe decide Wednesday, Thursday, and that way I can very easily slide into I can figure out what it is that I want to do. Plus, I need to start, if I do a traditional class, I have to figure out when they start. So I may actually give a little bit of that editing time over to writing. Because right now that's very tight. If I do the 90 minutes for the 90-minute challenge, 90-91 challenge. I'm very much limiting myself to just about 10 and a half hours. And I wouldn't mind giving a little bit more than that. So we'll see. All right, guys. So the next part of our goals pyramid is to define what your big goal is, your 1 or 2 medium goals, and your 2 to 3 small goals. You're going to name your goals, your big picture categories. When choosing where to put your health goal, I leave it up to you guys how much you want to give to it in terms of how much time is in that allotment. But definitely, like I said, I highly recommend putting it as number 1, because a healthy body and a healthy mind and a planned space will allow you to get more done. All right, so I'll give you a quick 2 minutes for that one, and then we'll proceed. Hmm. Um, okay, what did you guys come up with? Yes, I think I'm going to do that because I would like to see. The only thing I really have down for editing this week is waiting for the my final assignment to come back and evaluate it. So I need time to read it, but that won't take terribly long. And choose the next course. So, which technically I could fall down a rabbit hole. I'm gonna try not to. So what did you guys come up with? The one I'm most excited for this time is one of my creative goals. I want to just play and have some fun with some digital art this week and just make it fun. I don't have to create anything that is usable. I just want to see if I just have some fun with it and see what I can learn. See how I can improve on it, right? All right, guys, we're going to move into the midsection there of page 2, which is our plotting and planning. Let's see, Rita, since 2 of my goals would be accounting for 12 hours and deep clean the house for 6 hours, I combine 2 of my small goals into writing for 4 hours. That's perfect. I love that. Nice strategy. So the 2 parts here for plotting is a series of related events making up a story, your story. And the plan is an intention or decision about what one is going to do. I'm liking actually some of the combining because sometimes the reality is we don't necessarily need the 3. the 3 small goals, and they can definitely be combined into 2 instead and of working that time out. The other one I do is on the one I steal a little bit of time from it because I know it's my itty teeny bitty goal, and I'm barely taking baby steps into it. So I just tend a little tiny bit to it. So I take a little bit of time off that and I put it into my self-care so I can have that little extra time. I need to write that down too. Get that. Okay. So let's dive on into the nitty-gritty. So first off, we have projects. We have our ongoing projects. We have recurring projects. We have new. We have ones that we're going to put on hold. What our intentions are for that are whys. And then anything that's pulled from your monthly or quarterly plan that's designated for this week. I was just looking at my monthly plan and realized that when I set it originally, I was going to work in a linear fashion, and I'm supposed to basically be working on Act 3 of Project Ballad. But instead, I decided to go random, so I reworded it that I need to do 7 scenes this week, and I just picked my random scene and write that. I would like to actually do more, but like I wanted to go a little bit faster now that I'm feeling a little more comfortable with it, so I may steal a little bit from the editing time. That way I can do a couple more scenes. Let's see, Cami. My June journal theme is Etch-a-Sketch, so my big task for next week is creating the labels in a drawing program. Oh, very cool. May's Polaroid theme labels were very early 90s inspired. Took 2 solid days to make. Ooh, I don't want that 30 hours crammed into 2 days again. No, no. Let's not do that. Okay, so let's go through and just plot out what the projects are related to each thing, each of your broad categories that are going to move you forward this week. And begin. Actually, it's supposed to be up higher. Not the right wording. Hold on, guys. I just put that down there. Use the wrong term here. Not what I wanted to say at all. Let's clearly state what I'm trying to do. Okay. What did you guys come up with? Elizabeth, I need to clean and get organized for the upcoming summer semester. I need to buy a notebook for taking notes. Sweet. One of the funner things. Diane, hey, how's it going, hon? Oh, you're so welcome, hon. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy your week. I will finish finish on the replay. Well, thank you for coming and hanging out with us, and have an awesome weekend, hun. Or rest of the week, I should say. We're finishing up the weekend. Thank you, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to head on into our next one. This one I've tweaked a little bit because I found that I kept forgetting to put this up here, and I think this was more valuable than the other slide anyway. So this is the plan. This is all the subtasks to keep in mind as you're breaking down your projects. So is there any admin tasks related to them? Any banking that you need to do? Any meetings? Any workshops or courses that are associated with? Any skill-based videos or reading that you want to do? Live sprints that you want to attend and specifically work on that project. And then journaling that you can do to help to future-proof you, and what targets you're looking to reach. And again, we batch everything together to similar things together to make it more efficient. Okay, guys, let's get our 2 minutes up, and hopefully this will be a little cleaner of a panel now. And begin. Oh my. Three. So what did you guys come up with? I realize I have to get the template for our monthly setup for you guys for June, just basically the June dates on there. So I got to get that done this week. Get that set up. And the other one I may do a June launch on, but that's okay. I can work on that without messing things up too badly. I can mess it up for myself, but not for you guys. Okay, guys. And I put down, because I don't know how much I'm going to give to myself in terms of extra writing time, but I gave myself the 7. So by sticking with the plan, I will have 7 scenes and 2 bonuses if I steal a little bit of time there from editing, because it's not entirely needed right now. So that'll work. Alright, guys, now we have this area as well, which is your deep focus. Which goal will you focus on per session? Think in blocks of 2 to 3, and also think in terms of your the storyboard as well, and where those big free days are, so that you can input this in, and you can give yourself some really solid working sessions towards specific projects and give yourself nice blocks of time. right? So, and I also recommend having a little mini agenda for each, so you're really just jumping in and knowing fully what you want to do. So let's take a quick 2 minutes and just figure out who should get tackled when, and go. So this guy. Maybe I do that. I'm not sure. It's Wednesday now. That works. Take it down though. Let's see, Thursday. Try that in blue. What would this be? We do this on Tuesday. I said Wednesday, which was a mistake. Just realized the date that I gave for my choose the date by is a chaotic date and probably not the best decision making day. So I'm going to give myself one more. I'm going to say Thursday for that one. That way I can get over the chaos and get on the other side of that and make a good, happy decision. What did you guys come up with? Meanwhile, we will jump on into our fun list. This is your favorite activities. This is getting outdoors. This is trying something new. This is reading. This is playing games. Doesn't matter what kind. Cardboard or card games, board games, or video. If it brings you joy, all that matters. So this is your fun list. This is whatever you want to put on here. This is for you. This is your downtime. This is your refilling the well time. It's all the good things. Let's throw a 2-minute timer down there for that, and let's create our list. I'm going to do some tweaking of mine because there's a few things that I've been kind of hankering to do, and I think that the weather's going to be nice enough for it. So I'm going to add that to my list and go. Let's play. Mm. Oh, whoops. Okay. I don't want to do that to myself, but I know I have time this week to do it. I need to do Costco this week. Just realized that. Narrow it down. One of the things I don't want on my list. Overall, though, I think I have a good plan for next week. I've chosen a couple days there where I can get some bonus scenes in, so I'll try to double up my writing on those days, and instead of doing the 90 minutes, do 180. I think that'll be cool. All right, guys. Next section is the protagonist, and this is creating version 2.0. So we're gonna the better version of ourselves, and the character who drives the action is you, and you need to be in the driver's seat. So we're looking at new skills, misbeliefs, and daily habits that we can do to help create the things that we want in our lives. So the first one off is that new or continued skills. What knowledge are you lacking? Sources can be YouTube, books, or courses. Are they free? Do you have to apply for or purchase? I say they apply for because sometimes you actually have to submit an application and sometimes a writing sample, and they're a little more in depth, right? What does your reading study time look like? What does the coursework look like? What does your practice time look like? And how are you evaluating? Is someone else doing the evaluation, or are you going to have to evaluate yourself? Yeah, let's do a quick 2 minutes on that one. Oops. And let's figure out what we're going to add in or continue doing, just as important, and proceed. Okay. Oh, pardon me. I'm sorry. Well, that came out of nowhere. Kindle. Okay, let's get that romantic. No, I looked up exactly then. At least there can't be. You can't see us yelling back. Oh no. Ah, that one just came out of nowhere. It's like, ah, no. Full on. So I'm going to get back into, there was one reference I was reading, and I only got to the halfway mark before I replaced it with Wired for Story, which is an amazing book. I will give it that. But I kind of let the other one, ignore the other one. So I want to get back into reading that one because a romantic subplot is important to my current book, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right, and get it. It feels okay what I'm doing, but at the same time, I need to. I want to know for sure. Let's see, Elizabeth. The chemistry lab is 3 hours twice a week, and the lecture is online. Oh, that's very cool. That is very, very cool indeed. Yeah, as I said earlier, my youngest is taking an biological anthropology class. She was a lot. We said that her summer classes could just be her electives, her fun ones. So she's got criminology, biological anthropology, and not so much fun, the business fundamentals, which is, I think, will serve her really well throughout her life, but at the same time, not as much fun or cool as the other two. Kind of jelly when it comes to the criminology. I think it'd be kind of a fun class. So I'm gonna get back on to reading. So if you guys have abandoned a book that you are reading for resources as a resource, throw it back in your list. Let's see. Then I have 2 1-credit classes online since I can't get free community college this summer without taking a minimum of 6 credits. Oh, I see. Okay. This summer. Okay. Well, that works, right? So our next part is that misbelief. What bad choices have you been making that are affecting your overall health, energy, and concentration? For me, it's been the sugar. I've been back to it. Not good. So I'm going to have to figure out something. It's just a healthier snack and get off of it again because I've been consuming more of it than I should. And I can feel it in my energy. It's not there. Empty calories. Eating lunch at either ridiculous times, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or not at all, and eating for the first time at like real food at like dinner time. Gotta stop doing that. So let's take 2 minutes and figure out what we could do. That would be to what you need to change, what you believe has been working for you, but you can feel that it is not, and begin. Nice. Okay. Okay, what did you guys come up with? So, one the I'm loving the veggie tray, but I'm getting a little bit bored because I keep buying the same things. So, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to make it a fruit veggie tray. I'm going to go for a smaller unit so I can, smaller container. So it doesn't take up so much fridge space because currently ones I've been using are quite large. And yeah, it makes for a large veggie tray, but then it's in the way the rest of the week. So I'm going to go smaller. And I'm going to try to also mix up the ingredients so that I'm getting that little pop of something new, a little bit different. I think it's probably why I've been back to doing the things I shouldn't, because I'm looking for that variety. So I'm going to do that. And I got to figure out what this tray is going to look like, because currently the one that I was using takes up a massive amount of space in there. Not working. Same about the eating, although I sometimes do a breakfast fast and eat a late lunch. Yeah, it's just, it was getting a couple days where I realized at dinner time that the only thing I ate was a cookie. So you don't want to be doing that for long term. It didn't feel very good. So I'm trying to not do that anymore, because that is not food. I used the excuse that it was an oatmeal raisin cookie, but that said, still not good. Rita, ebooks can be worse for not reading them. I got some spinach dip and more veggies this week too. I need to focus on eating healthier. My blood, what does it say? This quarter has increased and the doctor is concerned. Blood, I cannot see that word. What does that say? I cannot see it. I think I know what you mean though, but I can't think of the word. It'll come up and I'll be like, oh, duh. Okay, guys. Our last one. As I'm eating chocolate over here. Blood labs. Oh, yes. Eating chocolate. Yep. I have copious amounts of chocolate in this house. I think as a celiac, I think this is my problem. When I want something that's just snacky, it ends up falling into certain categories, and then they're not the best categories, unfortunately. It's like most chips, gluten-free, right? Most chocolates are good too. Anything else, I kind of have to be a little more hit or miss. So it's so frustrating. Let's see. Cammy to Ashley, oatmeal chocolate chip cookies over here. Oh, I may have to go make a batch. You guys are not healthy. Ashley, but the past 2 weeks we've been eating super healthy. We started a group with our friends on Telegram to keep each other accountable in a positive way. I love that. The fuzzy word is lab. Thank you. Yeah, I wish I could take that little, I should actually look and see if I can change that and just move it. Because if it moved to the left side of the chat column, that would be ideal and I would love it. Maybe I can move it. I should look and see. Sometimes you can customize these things, right? Let's see. Actually, ooh, love those. Yes, they do sound delish. You can eat popcorn instead of chips or dessert, and popcorn is gluten-free. Yeah, I found one of I can't have the Smart Food one. I cannot have because it's not gluten-free in Canada. It is in the US, but not here. But we have a store brand one that is. So I've been buying that and just grab a bowl and just completely just nibbling. It's dry. It doesn't make a mess. It feels like actually it's real food. Nice white cheddar popcorn. Love. We're obsessed with it. Rita, I just finished my last small package of chocolate eggs from Easter this past week, and I only went 5 packs. Only got, okay, that's good. Yeah, popcorn with no oil or butter, super low calories. Oh yeah, I don't really worried about the calories so much. It's more the fact that I've been reaching for easy, and I mean easy, and that's I feel that after a very short amount of time. Let's see. At my current pace, I'll be done all my grains by the end of June. 5 months behind schedule, but way better than until the end of the year. I had so much more than I thought at the start of the year. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have 2 gluten-free flours in our house right now, and I'm still meaning to make something to try with the new one. We have one that we know we like, and there's another one that's supposed to be better by reviews, so we want to give that a try and see. So I gotta whip something up for that, and maybe make some pumpkin loaf or something. I don't know, something different. This may sound weird, but nutritional yeast on popcorn is really yum. Oh, it's delicious. I love it, and kind of tastes like cheesy powder. My Amish friend eat that. Oh yeah, it's so delicious and such a surprise what it tastes like. I hear ya. Okay, guys, let's get our 2 minutes up and get our daily habits down there. Let's pick some good ones. And you know what? For fun, you can even pick out a naughty one and go. Hmm. Interesting. Nope. Silenced. Let's see. Cam, it's real. Ashley, nutritional yeast is how vegans make things cheesy. Oh yes, definitely. I have to remember that when I'm making something because I can make vegetarian, but every time I want to try for full vegan, I end up goofing it up with cheese. So it'd be really cool to realize that I have nutritional yeast and achieve the cheesy flavor and keep an actual true vegan dish. I want to be able to do that. Not all the time, but when the occasional, right? Let's see. Elizabeth, I buy popcorn that has salt and coconut oil on it. Intriguing, coconut oil. It doesn't have too much salt in it. Nice. Ashley, right, Cammy. Exactly. Cammy, pick out a naughty one. Wonders who has perfected my twerking on their list. Not myself, of course, but someone must. I love it. I put dance because, and I literally just for like energy, put on one of my favorite tunes and just dance around in the office and just have that explosion of energy and movement and just have some fun. I just want to do something that is a reminder each day to just do something that is fun and just, like I said, that explosion of energy. I just want to do that. We have like a couple dance games, but then I have to like think about that and I have to set that up and stuff, where if I just do it, put some tunes on YouTube and just dance around. It's all good. No one has to see me. If my kids see me and my hubby sees me, that's fine. Let's see. Cami, I just use my air popper. The toppings are totally mine to control then. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Cami, I could never be full vegan. I own things with this. I own things with silk and a leather belt, and the only sweetener I'm not allergic to is honey. I'm just occasionally for health. When I want to eat, meat, I eat meat. I just want to kind of balance it out. I want to show my girls as well that you can have that balanced meal, and you don't always have to have a heavy meat meal as well. You can actually have vegetarian sometimes. You can have a vegan meal sometimes and not rely so much on the dairy products, and really just mix it up, and just moderation, right? I cannot see myself ever becoming fully vegan because I like bacon. So, and I know there's no substitute for that one yet. Cami, on being seen dancing. If you're lucky, they join you. Yes, exactly. Okay, guys, we are going to slide on into our last panel, and the rising action, all the events that happen in a story on the way to the climax, which will be how we go about this week. We're going to take action on all the projects we want to make forward progress on, and be able to check all those boxes next week, right? I'm an omnivore, but with heavy vegetarian leanings. Definitely. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I love making a vegetarian meal. I love the idea of making a vegan meal. I love the idea of making a traditional, something very traditional, like with the steak and potatoes, and just kind of leaning into what I was raised on more, right? And just kind of just having it all, just having it all. Have that enjoyment, and the reality that we live in this world of abundance, and we can have different things, right? I know hubby prefers to have more of the meat. I happily will, like, we've gone to, like, we use Beyond, what is it called now? Beyond Burgers, and we'll often use that in substitute of beef. My husband doesn't eat beef, so we will often substitute in that to make things like spaghetti or something, and then we'll maybe put a little sausage or something in there just to kind of balance it out, and that way we're keeping it really interesting, and still having some of those flavors that we like. Let's see. Cami, I was the oddball in my family with always insisting you don't need meat every single meal, especially when things like chili and nuts are packed with protein. Exactly. Yes. And I like I said, I like to mix it up. I like to look for other sources. I can't eat the same thing all the time. I know that's a convenient way to schedule. If you can, I've seen beautiful, organization videos where somebody will do up their fridge or freezer, but they literally have like 6 of the same thing in just multiple packages. I'm like, I wish I could do that. I need more variety than that. Yes, it makes for a beautifully organized fridge, but it doesn't make me feel good in my heart because I would be so bored immediately. Cami, but don't get me wrong. When the meat craving hits, I'll make a thick sandwich or a burger. Yes. Elizabeth, I had a gluten-free peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner. Yes. One of my favorite treats. I buy Jif because it's gluten-free. All the other peanuts butters seem to not be. So that's my go-to for fun. Okay, guys. So the outline. You're going to create your master plan ideal week. You're going to secure your protected time in your planner. That's where we were putting those deep focus times down. Put that in your planner. You get those down there. You get that schedule down there. You create those mini agendas for yourself. That way, when you sit down, you know what you need to do each day. And there's no question. And that way you get the joy of ticking off those boxes, right? You're going to schedule in your self-care, your mental health days, and your buff days. We haven't discussed those in a while, but if you need any of those, of course, you put those in there. And this is your first draft of your weekly plan. So sometimes you're going to look through this and realize that you have more on the list than the hours that you've been given, that you actually gave yourself. So you'll have to make some adjustments, but at least you know everything you're trying to do and have a kind of a view of that. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. That was fun. I've missed that. Oh, I missed that. I need to start realizing that when my daughter starts classes, even though I'm not going to the school, I think we are bringing more things home. Both of them started back up with Special Olympics for my eldest, and my youngest went back to uni. And boom, there they were. So I'm going to have to start putting that connection between what happens to my body at this time of year when that new set of people come in. And I think that's what it is we end up getting around a lot more people, and my immune system has issue with that. Let's see. Cami, like that you can grind your own peanut butter at Bulk Barn. You're Canadian? Yes. Oh, interesting. I never even knew that. That's very cool. I will have to check that out. The only problem with Jif is it has more sugar in it than the other brands, so that is good to know. Okay, guys, thank you. Take a moment to clear out your space a little bit, get your planner out, and make your plan for next week into your planner, and get it on the page where it's going to serve you best. Thank you, guys. I will see you throughout the week at our various lives. And I will see you next weekend for our writing sprints, our weekly planning, and our monthly planning. And I will try to figure out those dates as quickly as possible and get that up there. I was going to say I'll get it up on Monday, or not on Monday, on Wednesday. But I am kidding myself if I think I have time on Wednesday. It'll probably go up on Thursday. Okay, guys, watch for that. And I'll see you throughout the week. And for sure, I'll see you next weekend. Thank you for hanging out with me. Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Okay.